Hey guys, it's Kane again. I've got another 1v1. It's Flipstip and Klon. So this is going to be game 2. They actually played a small series of 3 games consecutively. So this should be interesting to watch. So we saw that Klon took a surprise victory over Flipstip last time. And it'll be interesting to see if Flipstip can make the comeback here. And so anyway, we're going to see Flipstip over here in the northeast corner with this red Cloakybot factory. Constructor first opening on a very economic map. And over here, a green Cloakybot factory from Klon, 1 scout, and then an early constructor for himself as well. A few more glaives, and then actually another constructor on deck. Whereas Flipstip seems to be going pretty heavily into glaives at the moment, undecided about building another constructor. So let's take a quick look at the density of the mexes here. They aren't very dense at all, but it's so spread out that you really do need a couple of early constructors to really reach out. And it's nice to see. Oh wow, look at this. Ouch. The glaive comes in, picks off the constructor first thing right here in minute 1. And that's always rough to see. Gonna come back and you take out the metal extractor as well. And if you've seen me play on this map, you know that I just hate playing on it because it's so hard to defend the bases against glaives like this. I really don't see why you would play anything other than glaives. They're so good on this map. Just because of how spread out all of the mexes are. It's like, where do you put your defenses? Well, maybe on every metal extractor. It seems like. I don't really know what else you could do. And there we go. Flipstip hates this map too, man. I totally feel you. This sucks. I hate this map so much. I don't even know why it's in the featured pool. But anyway, enough editorial. Looks like some glaives coming out, trying to secure a perimeter, perhaps. Not sure exactly where they're going. This guy's heading down into the south to try and secure an expansion there, and then 3 glaives positioned defensively right here outside of Flipstip's base. Flipstip heading out with his commander along the north side now. Doesn't want to lose another constructor to that. It's always the worst, man. You lose your first constructor, it's like you have to rebuild one immediately, and I mean that's 140 metal, but more importantly, that's time that you're not building glaives. That's 2 glaives in a constructor right there. So picking one off for free with the glaive plus the metal extractor afterwards, that was, I mean, so early in the game. That's a huge pickup. I know it seems like not very much, but just look at the economy now. Klon's are already pulling ahead. He's 2 metal ahead, going to be 4 or 5 metal ahead now after this one completes. So I mean, he's in a great position. He's going to be building some energy to keep up with it. Look at the eco management here, really by both players. I mean, neither one is going to be falling behind too far with energy at all. Even though he's using wind generators, Klon is making sure to build enough energy to support the metal that he's building, which is a ton. He's building it very quickly. At this point, he's almost doubled Flipstip's economy already. Looks like Flipstip has gone for a very aggressive play now. I'm not sure about this. Oh boy, lots of engagements trying to break through over here at Flipstip space, but able to push that away. These glaives here playing a little game of dance with each other. Going to be chasing down that renegade glaive there, a little bit out of position with the 3 glaives able to sort of bum rush him. Sweeping around to the south here, might be able to pick up this constructor if they sweep just right. Head up to the northwest now, trying to head it off at the pass. Not sure where exactly they're going, actually just grouping up right here. Now defensive glaives coming in to help protect this constructor, and fortunately these glaives don't seem to be getting much attention at the moment, so oh boy, there we go. Now they move in, they're able to pick off this half-completed metal extractor, going to run through, take off that glaive, should be able to pick up this constructor if they line right, and absolutely beautiful. Pick off the constructor and they get right out of there, just looking to regenerate. And I mean, just once again, notice how fast these glaives regenerate. That is crazy. They're all back up to full health now. So you really have to do this hit run type deal with the glaives, and you know they can tank a little bit of damage from an LLT if you really need to. It's not a big deal. Just as long as you pull them back and get them out of harm's way before they die, they'll regenerate so quickly. You can just pull back and well, re-engage as soon as you're ready. Now this is not a winning engagement here for Flipstip. Going to be pulling back immediately, seeing all of these glaives here, plus the defender as well to help defend. So definitely not a very permeable position here. These glaives should probably spread out and be ready to retreat micro in order to defend. A couple of glaives now breaking off to the south to help defend. It looks like the commander, who's a little bit out of position, but more than able to defend himself at level 1, has the LLT there to support him as well. These glaives pretty geniusly moving out of the line of fire of the comm behind that LLT. Ultimately able to scare away all of his glaives, and now here's a nice strong push by Klon. He gets pushed back almost immediately though by the defenders. The glaives there to help defend as well, plus the commander there to support as needed. So no one's going to get through here, at least anytime soon. Flipstip is beginning to mass, and it is worth mentioning here, almost entirely glaives from both players. Klon has just now put out a single warrior to help defend at his base. Very spread out play as well, and we're seeing lines drawn along the center of the map vertically here, as you can see. And there is a breakaway glaive in here coming up from Flipstip. Looks like he's more just scouting than really trying to do any damage, but always nice to get a glaive in behind the lines. That way you can sort of check out what your opponent is doing. This warrior is going to be making his way, it looks like, to the front lines here to help defend against a glaive rush. In fact, he has an attack order set for this defender, which is interesting to see. I'm not really sure about that one. A bit of a defender duel here. Not sure exactly who's going to win. Oh, actually, this defender here is being repaired by the commander. So, wow, that was very interesting. Those two defenders completed almost exactly the same time. Huge clash of glaives about to come in here. This massive group is going to try to break through to the lines over here on the north side. Can't run into this warrior, though. I have to be super careful about that, but this glaive making it behind, able to take out the radar and all the defenses up on this hill, which is a nice pickup. These glaives falling back here behind the protection of the warrior. This warrior pushing in very aggressively, having the support of the glaives behind it. Flipstip's own glaives heading to the south, going to give this warrior the slip, trying to head in here and either make a dive at the commander or not entirely sure what, just trying to break through in general. This pack of glaives now moving into defend and ouch, running directly into the commander, so Flipstip really only has the hope to try and commander dive. Not going to go well for him. Just absolutely swarmed by these offensive glaives here from Klon. And wow, excellent defense there. And look at all of the reclaim. It's 500 metal roughly. I mean, that's a ton of glaives. And like I said, this is going to be a very glaive heavy game, so we should see lots of micro action and a lot of defender wars as well. This commander's in a bit of a hairy position. All of these glaives coming in right now, going to swarm him pretty handily. He needs to get right out of there, going to retreat, using that beam laser as well as he can, but these glaives coming in now. Oh no, this commander is going to go down and takes out all of Flipstip's glaives with it as well. Ouch, that is painful. That was a support comm just a little bit too forward and got a bit overwhelmed there by Klon's forces. I should mention Klon has been leading economically, at least for the last little bit. Looks like 30 to 20 as far as stable metal production. No, that was mostly reclaim, so 20 to 20. It's actually fairly even. Man, I need a widget that doesn't include reclaim or like splits it out to a different number. That would be great. Anyway, these glaives trying to get the surround on the Zeus, doing an excellent job. The Zeus not a very effective unit when it's facing a bunch of raiders that are in a concave around it. So very, very excellent execution there. You saw 3 glaives and an LT pick off a Zeus almost entirely by himself. So that was absolutely great. Heavy skirmisher coming out now from Flipstip. Looks like 4 or 5 on the field already, and then some more glaives as well, and then constructors as well to follow. Both players slowly expanding down to the south side of the map. Neither one getting too aggressive. It does look like Flipstip has an opportunity to attack through the south here, but very strong push up to the north from Klon. I'm not sure if he'll have the opportunity to do that in the light of this. This Zeus is going to be able to take out the 2 defenders, no problem. Pretty large swarm of skirmishers coming in, but there is a pack of glaives behind this offensive push here. They're going to be able to clean up the skirmishers. Really no trouble at all. And Flipstip is definitely trying to secure his commander wreck here. Definitely wants to reclaim that, or else he's going to be in quite a bit of trouble. Zeus is doing a great job to tank here. Probably needs to be pulled back and repaired. No, ultimately it does go down to the skirmishers, and now these glaives trying to dive in. No, changing their minds, heading back to the south, trying to sweep through the skirmisher line, diving right into the ball of enemy glaives, going to take out this LLT and then sweep through more glaives. But then there is a nice juicy core of skirmishers at the center of this unit Tootsie Pop. But ultimately just cleaning up this economic outpost here and then retreating behind enemy lines, wanting to heal up a bit. He does have the constructor here to help repair him. I mean, plus just having won the reclaim, or even not even necessarily winning it, but just denying it from Flipstip is a huge win economically. Klon's still very much in the lead, absolutely. Continuing to expand down to the south very rapidly. 2 constructors now. In fact, Klon has almost taken every mechs on his side. Flipstip is 3 or 4 mechs behind. Actually, looks like 5 or 6 mechs behind. So this could get pretty hairy for him here in just a minute as the economy begins to snowball. These glaives not able to do much against a heavily fortified position here with the commander. Again, lots of defense is being applied to compensate for how spread out this map is. Pushing through here is Klon, and he's going to be taking out this LT pretty much right after it's built, and then looks like a mech and a constructor will be caught out of position. Glaives coming in to help defend from Flipstip, but ultimately Klon just has to pull back here, and there we go. Aggro's a few of the glaives against his superior line. They all get taken out by the LT. No problems whatsoever. That was a beautiful micro play there. Looking up again on the north side, the skirmishers doing what they can to push back the constructor and whatever heavier riot and assault units come out from Klon. Looks like some hammers, 1 or 2, coming out from Flipstip as well to try to pick off all of these defenses. Certainly a good move, but militarily Klon is just so far ahead well, after the commander drop. It'd be nice if the commanders were included in this count as well, but what are you going to do? So anyway, these warriors going to be pushing in with the Zeus pretty well, going to take out a little fortification on top of this hill. There's not much in their way. I mean, once they break through it, there's a few skirmishers here, but really there's so many glaives out on the field for Klon. He just needs to head north, clear that out, and it should be essentially GG. He should be able to walk right into Flipstip's base, which is not that heavily defended to begin with. Really unfortunate. Losing the commander was a big deal for Flipstip, and then of course, I mean, I can't say enough how much losing your constructor in minute 1, like that was literally at like 57 seconds. He lost his constructor and a metal extractor, and against a player like Klon, starting out with a disadvantage like that is tough. I mean, this is a close matchup, and it's those tiny little, just hairs of a difference that accumulate over time and sort of snowball into a game-winning lead. Yeah, here's Klon raiding out the southern expansion from Flipstip. So Flipstip is essentially on just the northeast 25% of the map. He is trying to raid out to the southwest here, punishing this naked expansion from Klon, but Klon's still having a very significant economic lead, enough to just sort of push into the center. He's pushing into skirmishers with riot units and assaults. So, I mean, that's just how economically outclassed Flipstip is at the moment. These warriors going to be focusing down any opposition they find. These glaives are going to come in and clean up these skirmishers, and so this should be basically good game. I don't see anything from Flipstip that's going to be able to answer this. I mean, really, there's enough here to push into the base just by itself. With the addition of the glaives, the raided out southeast, and the fact that this is all effectively clones, it really doesn't matter. But really interesting game, and I liked all the micro that we saw. I thought it was really interesting. The different defensive positioning, the throws, and the way that Flipstip tried to sort of throw Klon's army off balance, trying to use the advantage of mobility to send his heavier units up north and then break down to the south with the glaives that we saw like a little bit ago. I thought that was pretty brilliant as well. And there's Flipstip with the GG. We saw that there's a sniper here in the factory, but it doesn't ultimately look like it's going to be playing any role here. Flipstip says I should go back to playing CCR, Comet Catcher Redux. So I guess he feels like, those metal denser maps are more his favorite. I like this. I like the way this played out. I thought both players played all right too. Looking at the production, we can see that pretty early on, Flipstip actually did outproduce Klon for I don't know, looks like a minute or two. I'm not exactly sure quite how much, but then Klon did pull away. Didn't ultimately outclass Flipstip too hard. I mean, he did excess quite a bit in the end, in fact, just from the overproduction there. But what are you gonna do? Too much metal, still win the game. So yeah, great game from both players. If you guys have anything to add, let me know in the comments, and I'll catch you next time.